Hello everyone, welcome to Daily News Analysis presented by Believers IAS Academy. In today's news, we'll see important articles from the Bengaluru edition of the Hindu newspaper. So in the front page, there is a very important article regarding AFSPA. The article is, or the news is, AFSPA reimposed in 6 riot-hit areas of Manipur. Okay, so as the news reads here is, initially the AFSPA was taken back from or repealed from 6 districts of Manipur areas, Manipur region, but now it has been reimposed because of the continued violence. So there are 6 districts which have been reimposed. Initially in 2022, this was repealed by the Manipur state government, but now it has been imposed by Union Home Ministry, and it is expected to be effective till March 31st, 2025. This is the news, but the news is important, but the main important part is AFSPA. So now we'll understand what is AFSPA and what are the powers, what is its background, and what is disturbed areas. So first, AFSPA. AFSPA is Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Okay. Armed Forces Special Powers Act of 1958. That is the full form of AFSPA. So initially, a background of AFSPA is it was a pre-independence law. It was initially brought by British in 1942. Okay, ironically, this law was taken by or brought by British to suppress Indian nationalists during the 1942 Quit India movement. Okay, this was a pre-colonial law which was brought by British to suppress Indian nationalists. But post-independence, what happened is, during the post-independence era after 1947, India was dealing with partition issues. Okay, partition issues. So in order to deal with the partition issues, in order to deal with the partition violences, this law was kept in by Indian government. And then in 1958, this was converted into Armed Forces Assam and Manipur Police Act, and then later converted into present day AFSPA Act. Okay, so AFSPA Act is always in the news, and especially it is very important from mains perspective of UPSC because of the controversy surrounding its powers. What are the powers are? The powers include, okay, who enjoys the power is, one is armed forces which are stationed in the northeastern region, and second one is central armed police forces which are stationed in the northeastern regions. Okay, it was initially brought in the northeastern regions in order to control violence. Okay, control violence in the northeastern region because of ethnicity, communal riots, secessionist movements, separatist movements, and northeastern insurgency such as ULFA, NSCN, etc. These are the reasons why this act was implemented in northeastern regions. And the powers are provided, like powers are given to armed forces and CAPF. And what are the powers include? The powers are wide ranging. Main is to kill anyone, okay, to kill anyone who is in contravention with the law. Meaning, if anyone is not following the law in the disturbed areas region, the armed forces and CAPF has the power or right to kill that person. And second one is arrest anyone without warrant. Arrest anyone without any warrant, based on the mere suspicion. And search and seizure process. Okay, search any process without any warrant. And along with this one, the members of armed forces and CAPF also had the right to protection against judiciary, and they also had the right against right against suit without central sanction. Okay, meaning here is if the armed police forces or CAPF employs any of these powers, then they cannot be prosecuted by the judiciary based on the allegation that you have killed a person under APSPA or you have arrested a person without any warrant. These are the certain immunities which are provided to armed forces and army in order to work without any tension in those regions. So aim is to bring public order and justice. But over the years, the criticism has been the misuse of APSPA. Okay, with such wide range of powers, it is imperative that these kind of provisions can be misused by armed forces. Because of that, it is under criticism. Now, another part is all these powers can be used only in the disturbed areas. Okay, disturbed areas. What is disturbed area? Disturbed areas, it is declared based on the notification under section 3 of APSPA. Okay, this declaration can be done either by the central government or the states. Okay, in this particular news, in Manipur, initially the disturbed area status was withdrawn in 2022 by Manipur government, but now in 2024 it has been reimposed by central government. So both the state as well as central government have the power to implement have the power to declare disturbed areas. So the area can be disturbed. Why do we call it disturbed? Because of the differences or disputes between the members of different religious, racial, language or regional groups or caste or communities. In this particular case, in Manipur, it is mainly due to ethnic clashes between Kuki and Meitei communities. Okay, Kuki and Meitei communities, and central government or the governor of the state of the or union territories or the state can declare whole part of the state or union territories as a disturbed areas. They can either declare whole part of the state or they can declare any part of the state as a disturbed areas. Once declared disturbed, it has to be maintained disturbed for the period of 3 months straight. This is according to the Disturbed Areas Special Courts Act of 1976. This is not important, but these things are important. And then currently, Union Home Ministry issues periodic disturbed areas notification to extend APSPA only for Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh. It was initially only for Nagaland and Arunachal Pradesh, but now under the exceptional circumstances, they have extended to Manipur also. Okay, so this is about APSPA, and the criticism include. Okay, what are the criticism? You can easily say the criticisms of APSPA is misuse of power. Okay, and against the welfare state. Okay, India is a welfare state. India is not a police state, so it is against the laws of welfare state. Misuse of power by the armed forces, and it is against the rights of individuals, mainly fundamental rights. That is Article 21, right to life and personal liberty, as well as right to habeas corpus. Right to habeas corpus, because if you are arresting someone and if you are detaining someone for an indefinite period, you are obviously violating the right to habeas corpus. So these are the certain criticisms against APSPA, and also there are some people who argue that this is necessary. Okay, who favor arguments in favor or okay, the favor is there are safeguards are provided in order to avoid misuses, and armed forces and central armed police forces are trained in such a way that they can exercise the power only when it is absolutely necessary. And then they say that it is absolutely necessary in areas with insurgency. Okay, and it is necessary for the armed forces and police forces to act in justice. Okay, it provides certain rights so that they can exercise the power. So this is about Armed Police Forces Act. Okay, and now Other important articles from the news paper include there is an article about bulldozer justice, that is the raising impunity. Supreme Court's intervention may end arbitrary and targeted demolitions. I have already discussed this in a hot topic of today, and you can watch that video to understand what is given in this article. And there is a 2024 election result that may be astounded, which is not necessary for us and not important from UPS perspective, because it is mostly talking about 2024 US elections where Trump won against. And then leverage similarly complexity in Nigeria. It is also not very important from UPSC perspective. So moving on, this is also not important for us, Pakistan. So there is a picture about Chhat Puja. What is Chhat Puja? Okay. So the picture says that devotees offer prayers on the banks of Ganga at Digha Ghat on the last day of Chhat Puja in Patna. Okay, the Chhat Puja is a 4-day festival in which devotees worship the sun. Okay, Chhat Puja is the worshipping of sun festival. It is widely celebrated in Bihar, Jharkhand, Uttar Pradesh, and Nepal. So that is cultural aspect of this image. And after this one, Japan supports China, it is not necessary. And these are all the blame games. It is also not necessary. Congress is propagating ideas of Aurangzeb, not necessary. Sky is the limit for. So here, Prime Minister, like President Draupadi Murmu, is talking about importance of developing tribal youths. So that is important, but not very important for us right now. And then this is also not important. These are all blame games, political games, which is not important for us. And then, so this is slightly important for us. That is, DRDO announces successful trials of Pinaka rocket system. So here what you have to know is DRDO, that is Defense Research and Development Organization, has announced that successful completion of flight test of guided Pinaka multi-barrel rocket system as part of provisional staff qualitative requirements validation trials. So the range is 75 kilometers. The flight tests have been conducted in 3 phases. So that is important. Okay, Pinaka has been conducted by DRDO. And another thing is no dual clearance for 39 categories of industries. So this is about, okay, so this article is about Environment Ministry. The article talks about, or the news talks about, Environment Ministry accepts the long-standing demand of industry to remove requirements of both the environmental clearance and consent to establish. This will reduce the compliance burden, it says. Meaning, many of the industries, okay, they had a long-standing demand for the Union Ministry, sorry, the Environment Ministry. The demand was in India for certain, okay, for certain industries, in order to establish an industry and work, they had to go through 2 steps. That is, first is environmental clearance, that is EC, environmental clearance. This is the first stage of scrutiny. Second one is consent to establish. Okay, consent to establish. So a particular industry, if they want to establish an industry and they want to operate in India, they had to go through these 2 steps, which was anti-industrial, okay, which was considered as anti-economical, and these restrictions were putting strain on the industries, and they were being used by the bureaucracy in order to suppress industries. So now what happened is the Union Ministry has said that you no longer require consent to establish. Okay, now only what you require is only environmental clearance. So what happens now is, so because the process is slow, because the process is easier, more industries will be established. What are those industries? Those industries are called as white industries or white category industries, which include 39 industries. These are considered least polluting category, but this notification formalizes an existing practice where such industries got consent to operate without much trouble. Meaning, just environment clearance is required, then you can start operating without any need for consent to establish. So this is about this article. And then there was a news article yesterday which I found is very important, so we'll be discussing that now. That was, everyone knows about the conflict between India and Canada. Okay, India and Canada relations have become sour because of Khalistani movement and Canada's support to Khalistani people, and Canada's accusation of India that India is involved in killing of Canadian citizens in the Canadian soil. So because of this, there have been various steps taken by both the governments. Canada asked Indian ambassadors to leave the Canada, and Indians asked the same for Canadian ambassadors to leave India. So these are some activities. Now another step has been taken. That is, will the end of SDS visa derail Indian students' Canadian dreams? Okay. So what you need to understand is what is SDS visa and what is the impact of taking away visa, and then what are the alternatives for Indians. So first and foremost is Canadian government has recently discontinued Study Direct Scheme Visa. SDS is Study Direct Visa Program, a decision that significantly impact Indian students. SDS visa was initially introduced in 2018. It was aim was to simplify the visa applications process for students from selected countries, which are included India also. With its removal from November 2024, Indian students now face longer processing times. So what was SDS visa? SDS visa program has provided several benefits for eligible international students, such as faster processing. The program expedited students' permit applications on the meeting specific criteria. I mean, the visa application would be processed faster because of SDS if you are coming under SDS visa category. And then reduced fees, application fees were lower compared to other type of visas, and then simplified documentation. Fewer supporting documents were required, making the process straightforward. In 2022, over 1,89,000 Indian students applied to the SDS program with an approval rate of 63% compared to 19% for the non-SDS applicants, meaning they enjoyed faster processing and they enjoyed more success in approval processes. But now what happened here is they have discontinued the VDS visa, SDS visa. Why have they discontinued this SDS visa? The reasons given by Canadian government are abuse of the system. The Canadian government feel that Indian students or Indian citizens have been misusing the SDS visa category. That is, concerns rose that some applicants use the program to take low value diploma courses as a pathway to permanent residency. So they are using this SDS visa to get diploma, to get citizenship of Canada. So, and other things are housing crisis. Because of the surge of international students has strained Canadian housing infrastructure, particularly in major cities. And then resource constraints. Same thing, because of influx of students, increased pressure on the public services like healthcare and transportation. And then policy shift. This is very important. These are all the, what do you say, for the namesake reasons given by Canadian government. This is the major reason. Canada is reassessing its immigration strategies to ensure fair access and program integrity. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stated that we are granting 35% fewer international student permits this year, and next year that number is going down by another 10%. So these are the another examples of protectionist policies. Protectionist policies of the West. So now they have already developed, now they have already reaped the benefit of development. Now they are denying the development opportunities for the immigrants who are from non-Western countries. And what will be the impact of SDS? Okay, what will be the impact of discontinuation of SDS visa? So obviously now Indian students have to go through longer processing times, and they have to pay higher fees, and the procedures will be complex. These changes may lead to delays in admission, increased financial burdens, and also uncertainty about future of immigration opportunities, particularly for students aiming to transition to permanent residency. So what are the other alternatives or options for Indian students is, Indian students can still apply for regular student visa. That is early to allow ample time for processing, meaning if you are planning to study in Canada, you have to apply for visa earlier. Okay, you have to plan ahead and apply in Canada, and then prepare thorough documentation so that you do not face these complex procedures, and then they should consult experts in order to get the visa. So this is small topic but very important from UPSC perspective, especially in international relations. Another important article which I found useful was about World Diabetes Day. This was given in Indian Express article, Indian Express newspaper. So what is World Diabetic Day? It is celebrated in November 14 globally. Date commemorates the birthday of Sir Frederick Banting. Who is Sir Frederick Banting? He is, along with Charles Best, co-discovered insulin in 1922. Insulin is a medical breakthrough which helps diabetic patients. Breakthrough that has since transformed the lives of millions living with diabetes. So this year's theme for World Diabetic was access to diabetes care, empowering better health for all. Okay, history, it is not important, just read once. World Diabetics Day was first established in 1991 by the International Diabetes Federation and the World Health Organization as a response to the growing concerns around diabetic epidemic. In 2006, United Nations officially recognized it, making a global observance, and the initiative draws attention to challenges posed by diabetes, including the need for more accessible healthcare, awareness about lifestyle changes, and also that can mitigate risk assessed. Okay, what is the aim of particular day? If if there is any day regarding if there is any day celebrating any disease, aim is to create awareness about the particular disease, create funds for the disease prevention, create awareness about how you can avoid those diseases. So this is what they are doing here. It is also marked by various events including awareness campaigns, educational seminars, health checkups, etc., etc. And then what do you understand by diabetes? Okay, so full name of diabetes is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus, which is also known as diabetes, is a metabolic disease marked by consistently elevated blood sugar level. High blood sugar level will there, that is called as diabetes. Sugar anta karitaralla adakke ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಶುಗರ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ diabetic patient ಅಂತ. So diabetic is a chronic illness in which the body either produces insufficient amounts of insulin or is unable to use the insulin that it does produce efficiently. Okay, though either it produces less insulin or whatever the insulin it is producing, it is not able to use it efficiently. The pancreas secretes the hormone insulin, which is crucial for the controlling blood sugar. Blood sugar level can rise and cause issues with the heart, kidneys, feet, eyes if the insulin is not functioning properly. Okay, that is diabetes. You might have like someone in your family or person you know, the person who is suffering from diabetes or person who is suffering from sugar issues. Okay, what happens is whenever there is a higher blood sugar level, it will lead to issues with respect to heart, kidney, and he is more susceptible for heart attack or more susceptible for cardiac arrest, etc., etc. So this is about today's news analysis. So this is the beginning of everyday news analysis in Believers IAS Academy. If you like the initiative, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and also share with your friends. If you have any comments or if you have any suggestions for me and for the institution, do rate in the comment box. We'll improve in the coming classes. With this, I will end the session. Jai Hind.